Welcome again to the Backyard Professor Responds videos. Really important news out on Richard Dolan, just out. He just published this 1 hour ago. His first volume of a promising, magnificent 3-volume set of books on USOs, that is the UFOs in the water, has been published. Let's take a look at what Richard says and introduces the book and the topic. This is fantastic. I am elated with this, and this is a set I will be buying, and I will be discussing. 2 and 3 are not out yet, but volume 1 is available now. Let's take a listen to Richard for a moment.
Greetings. Glad to be here with you again. It's been a little while. There's always so much happening in the UFO or UAP space these days. But as some of you know, I don't just do YouTube videos. First and foremost, what I try to do is write books. I know I'm not the only person on YouTube who does double duty or triple duty like that. There are many others. But it is definitely something that does take my time away from YouTube often enough. And when I'm deep in a new book, there's really no way around the fact that, well, the book has to get done. That sometimes means that the videos sometimes have to wait. So anyway, I'm here today to talk about my latest book. Yes, I am an author who wants to promote his work. That's right. But the truth is, I loved writing this book, this project, and I'm still involved in it since the book I've just published is only volume 1 of a 3-volume series. I'll talk about the other 2 volumes in a short while. This project is something that took on a life of its own. It's the first truly comprehensive history of USOs, that is unidentified submerged objects. It's a project that I've been working on for 3 years. It started in the form of a large number of USO videos I did for my website, richardolanmembers.com, but pretty soon into it, I thought this needs to be a book, and so here we are. I'm glad about the timing of this book. We're in a new place in our public discussion of UFOs or UAP. And much of that discussion has moved into a conversation about USOs. And for good reason, by the way. The oceans have been neglected for the most part in all of this. And even in the past, UFO researchers, well, they did recognize that a lot of activity seemed to be happening in bodies of water. For whatever reason, hardly ever anyone really pursued this part of the phenomenon as a distinct unit of study and analysis. There are a couple of exceptions. This is one of them. Ivan T. Sanderson wrote a very excellent book called Invisible Residents back in 1970. Still a very fine book, highly recommended. And also Carl Feint. This is his book, UFOs in Water. Carl Feint passed away a couple of years ago. We very much missed in this field. And that's a great book. And a few others as well have discussed this. In Russia, there were a few researchers, as well as a scattered few in other parts of the world. But honestly, nothing that you could really call comprehensive. And that is what I've tried to do here. So this is a history of USOs. And the book I've just published is volume 1 of that series. It covers from the beginnings to the end of 1969. For the record, all cases from all volumes have already been written. I've finished all of that. Volume 2 will cover all of the 1970s and 1980s, while Volume 3 will cover all cases from 1990 through 2024. In total, I have 672 USO cases in these 3 volumes. And the second and third volumes should definitely be out and published during this year, probably the first half of this year.
So this is terrific news. Very exciting because this is such a neglected area, as he indicated. And again, it's the wider context. Not only do the UFOs come from space, some of them could very well be interstellar beings, but they also come from under the oceans. in our lakes, in our rivers, etc. And this is wild. This is really interesting. I'm looking very forward to reading his detailed cases, 600 of them, 600 plus cases. That's huge. This is going to be a very interesting investigation and a very realistic approach to another angle on the UFOs to show us, one, the strangeness of this particular phenomenon, a potential way to get a grasp on the reality of the USOs, why the military may very well be being so secret about it that virtually nobody has heard much about these. And now we have Richard Dolan's materials to come out. I will be purchasing these books as well as investigating them in detail as I can. I think there's a way to enlarge our capacity to appreciate not only the secrecy, but now the advocacy of bringing it forward. Where this year, 2025, is coming out full guns a-blazing with so many more interesting ideas and views, whistleblowers, people who are supposedly in the know, and now also new books. And it's a great time to be alive. It is a phenomenal time to say, look, we have a chance here to expand our understanding. We have a chance here to see some more interesting analysis of cases, and perhaps this will help others who can come forward with some evidence that they have been intimidated into not bringing forward, etc. But the nice thing about Richard putting this all together in one great big group is absolutely superb. I'm very excited. Dolan is one of the established UFO researchers, very credible, very thorough in his research. I've read one of his books. I've got to purchase all the others and read them as well. I'm going to skip his earlier stuff to get the USO series first, however. No, it's not going to affect my saving my money for my telescope. I am going to get that telescope without question here in a few months. But this is a very necessary step. And again, this just shows us all, seriously, and it's a process. That's just how this works. It is a process of unfolding piece by piece. We can't all write all of the information about all of the UFO situations and have it plop down in our lap in total. Whether we like it or not, we are in slow, controlled disclosure. But what a terrific thing Richard Dolan has done to take the necessary time. 3 years, well, when's your book going to come out? When's your book going to come out? Don't think that way. Now it's out, but I'm grateful that he said it doesn't matter when. It matters that I'm thorough, that I'm careful with my exegesis, and that my analysis and evidence is straightforward, realistic, and understandable to all the rest of us. Thank you, Richard Dolan, for making it that kind of quality instead of a rush hatchet job in 6 months. There's no question you could have made it much more minimal. Thank you for not doing that, but giving us a really thorough chunk of information spread over 3 volumes on such a fantastic aspect of this that the most of us are ignorant of, and now we get to update ourselves. That is what makes this subject so exciting. There's always updates. There's always new information to acquire, and we just now have some of the cream of the crop coming out this year. So keep your eyes peeled for volumes 2 and 3. Volume 1 appears to be ready right now. So here we go. Exciting, new, up-and-coming information on this fantastic series of books. I will keep you posted as more news comes out. In the meantime, hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe. And I will see you soon with more information as I discover it.